All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. Share this live video. Tap your screens if you're watching on TikTok. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. This is a Friday live. It's been a while since we've done one. Happy Black History Month. If you're in the tri-state area of New York City, then it's pretty damn cold. Oh, it's cold. I couldn't wait to get back inside the house. There's too much Real Housewives of Potomac news that we have to go over, including rumors about Robyn Dixon being fired. Candiace is doing a new Variety interview talking about the new revelations about Robyn Dixon and the betrayal of the situation. I'm using that word. We also have to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion trailer that dropped as well. And you will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on all the things related to RHOP. Oh yeah, and also we have to talk about Mia Thornton dropping receipts, proving that she's not a liar.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
Okay, girl. We're going to talk about all of it. This is why I had to go live and talk about this, guys. Make it worth our while. Spread the news. We are live on a Friday night. I'm your boy, TheKempire. Let's get into this countdown, and we'll be right back.
Won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
I'm still trying to warm up backstage. Guys, happy Black History Month. You know, I've been asking you guys, please drop a factoid that most people don't know about in regards to Black history. It doesn't have to be American Black history. We want to know about Black history in general. Here in the United States, we are celebrating Black History Month all month long, the shortest month of the year. It's okay. We're going to make the most of it, though. We're going to make the most of it. Speaking of Black History Month, one thing I will give Andy Cohen and the RHOP executives and the Bravo executives, I'm going to give them a little credit because the exclusive dropped for the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion trailer on Bossip, which is a Black platform. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, they're listening to us every once in a while. But let's be honest, it's more profitable for them to drop it on a platform like that versus somewhere else. They want to get those numbers. All right. Hold on, let me put my little Black History Month thing up. There we go. All right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're also live on TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. I appreciate you all watching on those platforms. You will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on all things Real Housewives of Potomac. We did go live earlier today, a live preview of the recap of the Real Housewives of Miami reunion looks and the latest episode, which was amazing. It's good. It was good. So if you did not watch it, I implore you to go watch it because we had a really great time earlier today recapping the looks. The looks were great. We also had a good time talking about the actual episode. All right. So callers, if you want to call in and chime in, you know, we didn't have callers for that live, but if you want to call in and share your thoughts in this live, please feel free. Please feel free. All right. All right, where do we begin? Let me open my notes because there are quite a few things that we need to talk about. I did post a poll in the YouTube live chat asking you a question. Okay, one of those questions was after watching the RHOP season 7 reunion preview, are you, quote, very excited and watching, enough but want more, feeling meh, or over this season? It's very close. It's very close. But right now, the majority is 32% of you are very excited and watching this reunion. We will get into the reunion in just a second. Let me just take a look at my notes to make sure I'm in the order that I want to talk about things. Okay. Do I want to talk about Mia first? Let's talk about the lackluster things because at some point I just need Mia. Girl, I don't care if you drop all the receipts. I don't care at this point about what you have to say. You are an admitted liar. An admitted liar. Okay? All right. Okay. Let me share my screen. Hold on, y'all. All right. So Mia took to her social media earlier today. Really earlier today, like 12 something in the night. She posted this. She says, "This past year has been trying, yet I haven't given up. I conquered. For the naysayers, karma." What? 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 Why the naysayers? What did we do? Why are we getting karma? Okay, let me go back. She says, "For the naysayers, karma. And to all my beautiful, loving supporters, thank you." Where are the Mia supporters? And I'm not talking about the people that think Mia is great for TV. I just really want to know the Mia supporters that, like, no matter what she's done, you've had her back, even when she's admittedly lied, or when she admitted that she was sleeping with a married man, and that's how she got Gordon. I need to find those people, not the people that just find her funny for the show, and that would like her on the show. No, not those people, because I don't consider those people supporters. Because I get why you might like her. All right. Let me go back. All right. So she says, "For the naysayers, karma, and to all my beautiful, loving supporters, thank you." She says, "God allowed me to see another year. Hashtag health is wealth, and hashtag no reason to lie." So she decided to post these receipts. Okay, let's take a look at the receipts. I'm guessing this is her doctor because you see the DR period at the top. And then I guess the doctor says, "Mia, stop the folic acid supplement. I will call you later this morning." Okay, will do. Thank you. The doctor then says, "First of all, you know what I'm upset about? Does she not have an iPhone?" I mean, every once in a while, if you don't have good reception, you will get a green thing. I'm thinking that she got a green thing because she didn't have good reception or whatever. Because she's able to like it. All right. She says, "Okay, will do." And then the doctor says, "Just spoke to Hopkins and waiting for the doc to call me back." Person says, "Thank you." Oh, wait, who is she? I don't understand this conversation. Who is she speaking to in this text message thread? It seems like she's speaking to the doctor. Maybe she's at the doctor's office. I don't know. This is me again with y'all. Okay, then her next receipt. "And new patient forms." So she's sending you an example of the patient forms. Did anyone doubt that Mia was going to the doctor and there may have been a health scare? I think people doubted or questioned that, did she exaggerate this situation? I think that's what it was. I never really cared enough to doubt it. I just was sort of like, okay, are you good, girl? Because I always took it as, oh, she had a health scare and she didn't know if it was cancer or not. If anything, drop these receipts to Gizelle, not us. Oh, the doctor has an Android? Is that what it is? Okay, I can't keep up. Anyway, so if you're just joining us, Mia Thornton from the Real Housewives of Potomac dropped these receipts early this morning in regards to her health. All right. Then she says, she drops this other receipt. "Lombardi Department, please confirm your appointment." These are her appointments, just to prove that she went to this particular hospital for treatment and things like that. To be honest with you, can we all agree that I just don't feel as if these receipts are receipting the way she thinks that they were receipting? You know what I mean? you look, look. I just feel as if I could post to you some doctor's visits that I've had recently. Doesn't mean that I have, the health situation that she described, right? Like the receipts from me. But a lot of you might, no, the receipts are receding. No, I don't feel like these receipts are receding. All right. So she has some more receipts, not in regards to her health, but her age. When we were first introduced to Mia, the big question was about her age. And she sort of was like a humming. The math wasn't mathing. Okay, so she decided to post more. Let me bring this up. I have way too many screens, y'all. Let me see if I can find my mouse. There we go. So Mia then posts more receipts, okay? Look. She posts this. So someone in the question section, well, not the question section, in the comment section, she says, sure, judge me on a 2-second edit. Shows your character. Whose character? Mine or yours? Then the person says, didn't you start off the show by lying about your age? So she posts her own little caption. She says, okay, let's get into this. Real story part 2. No, I never lied about my age. And then she posts her Maryland driver's license. And apparently she was born on November 25th, 1984. Does that make her a Sagittarius? Someone remind me. That makes her a Sagittarius. That explains her energy. Why did she cross out her real name? Look. Oh no, her maiden name. Can we even find that out? Why'd she cross out her maiden? I guess maybe for privacy reasons. I can see that why. Because maiden names, you use your mom's maiden name and stuff like maybe. Mia, no. I'm glad I talked about this first to get it out of the way. Thank you. Asia says these are not real receipts. Look, where's my... Hold on, y'all, because just because.
Who said that? When did she say that? You did.
And even then, she was lying. And making things up. Even with the whole situation with Blue Eyes and them in Mexico and them talking about Karen and Karen and blah, 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 blah. And what? So you're trying to say she was a prostitute? Even Gizelle was like, how did you get to prostitution? We don't know. So those are Mia's receipts. I told you we had a few things that I wanted to get out of the way in regards to the Real Housewives of Potomac and the news that's been coming out. All right? So I wanted to get that out of the way. So Mia, you're welcome. We gave you a moment. Not on my Friday. Look, not on my Friday. All right, so let's talk about some other BS. So you may have seen a story yesterday, and I appreciate all of you that try to link me to stories. I'm like, Kempire, can you talk about this? Can you report on this? What do you know? And I appreciate that. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, I already reported on that. But it's okay. Not everyone sees everything. Algorithms control our world, unfortunately. So someone said, not a fake. Oh, God, is it a fake ID too? And there's nothing you can believe with Mia. So there was another story going around yesterday, and I tweeted about this. This is why you should follow me on Twitter. A shameless plug, but this is why you should follow me on Twitter, because there's certain things that I address on Twitter, because I'm not going to make a short content on TikTok or Reels or Instagram. I'm not doing that because I don't believe the story, especially when your source is MediaTakeout.com. Media Takeout has been out since I was like a kid. And I know they, at some point, I don't know if they've ever had credibility. I'm so crazy that I can't believe that people are still citing them and that people are running with the story that Robyn Dixon was fired at Watch What Happens Live. What I do believe that Andy did confront her. As you know, Robyn Dixon will be the guest on Watch What Happens Live this Sunday, okay? I do believe that Andy did confront her about the whole situation with Juan Dixon cheating rumors and then her going on her podcast and revealing this and not revealing it on the show and then trying to charge fans on her Patreon for it. I do believe that there is probably going to be a little bit of a back and forth, okay? Andy, you're welcome. People are going to watch What Happens Live now. I wouldn't put it past Watch What Happens Live people to leak this crazy story in order to get people to watch the show. But I don't believe this happened. I never believed it. As soon as they said that Andy fired her, on the set of Watch What Happens Live. First of all, some of you have been in my comment section when I addressed it and said, first of all, I was at the Watch What Happens Live taping. I have video, but I can't share it. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It didn't happen behind the scenes. It didn't happen in front of the scenes. And then, I got people that work at Watch What Happens Live talking about it on Twitter. Hey, Wellington. And he didn't confirm or deny, but he basically says, y'all will run with a headline and believe everything that you read. Okay, that sounds a little like Andy, because Andy lied when he said that about Roni this week. But I believe Wellington. I don't believe that Robyn Dixon was fired on the set of Watch What Happens Live. Okay, I don't believe that. I also don't believe she's been officially let go from the show yet. I don't believe that. But you know what I do believe? Y'all are over Robyn Dixon. Y'all are over Robyn Dixon. All right? So I did a poll this past week, almost 2 days ago. I did a poll on my YouTube community tab. And with almost 8,000 votes, I asked you a question. I said, should Bravo fire, demote, or keep Robyn Dixon after this week's Juan Dixon cheating revelations? All right? This should be a game. You know how we do F, marry, kill? We should do this for the Housewives. Remember, you heard it here first, okay? We should do this with the Housewives. Fire, demote, or keep. Can we do that with the Housewives? Can we make that a game? I'm tired of F, kill, marry stupidness. I'd much rather do fire, demote, or keep. Can we do that? All right. We'll do it. We'll do it amongst ourselves. All right. But do you see these numbers? Do you see these numbers? So the numbers, for those that can't see it on TikTok, I'm going to read what attention Ionsco said in our TikTok. Fire Robyn. Okay. With 54% of 8,000 votes, you guys still have time to go vote on my community tab on YouTube. 54% of you that voted, and this is not just our community, this is anyone on YouTube could vote in this poll. 54% of you said fire Robyn. 31% of you said demote her. And then 14% of you said keep her. I don't think it's a sealed deal in regards to Robyn coming back. Usually after the reunion, that's when they make decisions. And Andy has said this. So this is not just Bravo, hearsay. Andy has said this, that usually after the reunion, that's when producers and everyone is considering who's coming back and how did they do during the reunion and things like that. Based off of this reunion trailer, though, Robyn, you should be worried. We didn't get a lot from Robyn, and Juan Dixon was not there. Oh, I hope Karen says to her, is Juan coming? Oh, that's what I thought. Oh, Karen, please give us that moment. Please give us that moment. Juan Dixon's not there. What excuse do you have now? Oh, he had a game? Okay. So I don't think it's a sealed deal. I don't believe the reports that you guys were seeing yesterday in regards to Robyn Dixon being fired, especially when your source is media takeout. I'm not doing it. Look, I know some of you, not you guys that are here with us, I know some people in this world think that I do things for clicks and likes. Please trust and believe I don't. Will I cover a story that I know that you guys want to see or hear? Of course. But will I cover a story that I know is complete? No, I'm not. I'm not, because I'm not going to waste your time. I mean, I'm already talking about it now, but I wanted to address it because here we are for RHOP. I don't believe that Robyn Dixon is fired. I do believe that they do have a heated exchange during Watch What Happens Live. And we'll talk about it on Monday when we recap the show. But that's it. Let's move on. Let's move on from Robyn Dixon. Guys, we already have 2,000 people in the building. We never usually go live on Fridays, but we had the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion trailer drop. All right? But before we get into the reunion trailer, We also have an interview with Candiace from RHOP with Variety. And she's weighing in on the whole situation with Robyn Dixon. And she's actually questioning her friendship with Robyn, as you should. Did you guys see my video yesterday talking about this? I said, girl, according to Carlos King, look, and I know, okay. The only reason why I believe Carlos in this particular instance is because he has relationships with the crew and the producers over at RHOP and RHOA, okay? But he says that these ladies allegedly gathered together, very much like they did at Andy's baby shower to plot and plan the whole Monique rumors. He's saying that some of these ladies gathered together to come up with this story this season in regards to Chris and other distractions from the real story. And I said, there's no way in hell that Robyn wasn't aware of this. Allegedly. I don't know for a fact. I wasn't there. But if this is true, I believe that she had full awareness of this, and that's your friend. Like, how do you stand beside someone that you call your best friend and work with this person, and they are plotting and planning the ruin of people's families? And this is the woman, Candiace, that you say that you look up to. So let's talk about what Candiace says in this interview with Variety. Okay? Hold on, y'all. Let me just pull this up. And we'll talk about the reunion, because Chris Bassett, I didn't have your back these last couple of seasons, but this season, at this point, they should lock Gizelle up. Look. I'm being a little facetious with that. So Candiace did this interview, and in regards to the whole Robyn situation, she said this: I can answer this question two ways. So the question was, what did you make of Robyn and Juan's wedding? Did that come as a surprise to you? So she says, I can answer this question two ways. The pre-podcast, as you know, the Reasonably Shady podcast, and Patreon bomb drop, and the post-podcast and Patreon bomb drop. She says, prior to what we learned, I was happy for them. I always saw Robyn as someone who was honest and who was transparent. Really? Look, really? Maybe in their personal lives, okay. What I loved the most about her was that she marched to the beat of her own drum, and that she did things in her own way. And her and Juan did things in their own way. I respected and appreciated that they didn't bend to the requests of everyone. Family, friends on the show, asking her when she's getting married and what you're going to do. I respected that. So to see her do what she wanted on her own terms and get married when she was ready to get married, I was happy for her. I was incredibly happy for her and Juan and for their boys, because I can't imagine how much of a positive impact it's going to have on these young Black men to see their family go through everything they've been through and then put themselves back together. That was a huge impact. And I was really happy for them. Can I just weigh in on that part? We, as a people, everyone, Black, white, whatever, I learned a long time ago from watching Oprah. We have to stop staying in relationships for children. That is not a reason to stay in a relationship. When you think that you are helping your children by staying in a relationship that's not working, it's not helpful to children. However, what Candiace is saying here is completely different, because based on what we are given in the world in regards to Robyn and Juan's relationship is that they've been through the fire together and now they've found each other and they're back together. But the truth is, this relationship is probably as toxic as some of the worst relationships that we've seen. For the love of Krishan and Blueface. Oh, hell. Okay, maybe not that bad. Look, maybe not that bad. That's the most you're going to hear me say that girl's name on this show, or that man's name. I'm never covering them. Now I say that. I mean, it would... anyways. So, as I said before, Candiace is responding in two ways here, because she's saying this is what my response would have been before the podcast. Okay? and the Patreon. So she continues. So the interviewer from Variety, for those that are just joining us, Candiace did an interview with Variety. So they asked her the question, what are your thoughts on Robyn and Juan's situation now that Robyn has come forward and shared her side of things? Oh, I love that innocent question. You mean that she admitted to Juan cheating? Okay. So Candiace says this, I'm really disappointed and hurt that we're on a show about sharing our lives. Robyn is someone that I thought was honest and open about her life, as she expected and demanded of each of us to be honest about our lives. It's hurtful that she chose not to and watched my husband be dragged for lies when she had a true story to tell. I looked at her like a sister or friend, and I thought I knew who she was. This definitely made me question if I knew who she was. After everything went down with her releasing all this stuff, it brings into question every interaction that we've had and everything that she said. Has she always been honest? I don't know. I don't like being in that place. I do want to clear one thing as well about my tweet regarding this situation. Cause y'all remember my whole reenactment of her tweet? If you missed it, you missed a lot. I did a whole reenactment. I had a choir gown on. You missed it. Go watch the video. All right. Anyways. So she continues and she talks about that. She says, I do want to clear one thing as well about my tweet regarding this situation. My commentary was directed at Robyn and the people that helped Robyn keep her story under wraps in exchange for lies about my husband. I don't ever want anyone to think I am blaming or disparaging our production company or our network, who have always been very good to me and have helped me to successfully launch a music career and film career, and always been honest, even when it wasn't in my favor. I appreciate neutral, honest machines and our production company and our network. Okay. I don't know. I didn't take it as if she was, but look, everyone's perception of what her tweets were saying could be different. But some of you have said that you don't want Robyn fired. Some of you want production fired. Some of you want production fired or shuffled around or changed. I don't know. I'm wondering how Carlos got that information in regards to the ladies plotting and planning. If he got that from production, I wonder when they knew. Just saying. So in this interview, Candiace does go on and she talks about Erica Jane, and we're not going to get into it because Candiace, we were riding with you till you got to Erica. Mm-hmm. They asked her the question of of all the Bravo housewives, what person that does music do you look up to? And she mentioned Erica, and I said, here, this is where we nope. I mean, you got Candy sitting right in your face with a whole ass Grammy, and Erica Jane is the sword you like. That's what you look up to? Okay. She says that Erica's been very supportive of her music career. We're gonna move on and ignore that because we're riding high with Candiace right now. All right, and I'm happy for her. She's got a lot coming up in regards to her acting and her music. She's gonna be working on her new album. Okay, look, congrats, Candiace. So I wanted to talk about that. So she's questioning her friendship with Robyn, which a lot of you have also been saying, well, now with all of this Juan Dixon situation, you want her to come back for season 8 and then be fired for season 9. But the way that she describes how she doesn't trust Robyn anymore, it kind of inkles to me. Inkles, that's not a word, but we're going to use it, okay? It kind of says to me that, so is this going to be the storyline for next season? Now Robyn's going to be questioned for all these lies, and Candiace is going to feel like, I can't trust you anymore. I thought we came to a place of trust and I thought you were this particular person, but everything you said to me, it feels like a lie. But does the larger audience feel like, no, we don't need to re-examine that. Let's get some new girl. I mean, look. You already know how I feel about Robyn. Robyn can go. Robyn can go. But it's not, and I see what a lot of you are saying, it's not just because Robyn held the truth of her story to herself. A lot of you said the bigger issue is that she wanted to give that truth behind a paywall on Patreon. When y'all already pay a lot for cable and for streaming apps. But you also say, some of you, I'm trying to give everyone's opinion here because I love to twerk on a fence. Some of you say that, well, all the housewives don't give us their truth. All the housewives lie about their truth. But they're never usually caught out there, usually. Just saying. But at the end of the day, replay crew, as always, I want to know your opinion as well. Do you want to see Robyn and this whole come to glory moment? Because even in Karen Uger's YouTube video talking about the episodes, she also says that season 8 will be her Robyn's time to answer to these questions. Okay. Honestly, I could care less. We already know. I feel like Candiace right now. Nothing that she says to me going forward am I going to believe. She's going to forever lie to us. She's been lying to us for years. Guys, I think she probably told the truth at once. At the season 1, she told her truth. But ever since then, Juan's been trying to find someone to share his life with. And it's not Robyn Dixon. And a lot of you are still waiting on the receipts of the marriage license. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, we had a lot of Real Housewives of Potomac news to go over, but I mainly wanted to go live so we can talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7 reunion trailer that dropped today. Oh, I meant to press this on. That works. That works. So before we get into that, let me just say thank you. We had a few super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Why is this going all the way up in my face? Kia, thank you so much for the super chat. Kia says, I'm ready for the reads Cand and Wendy will serve at the reunion. I mean, they didn't show any. So again, this is only less than a 2-minute preview. So I'm wondering what this will look like. Tamel, thank you so much for the super chat. Tamel says, why do you think we didn't hear the story about Mia being cut off by G? Being cut off by G? Where did we see that story? Or you mean cut off by the family and the business? Did I miss something? I didn't see her being cut off by G. Tony, thank you so much for the super chat. Tony says, Robyn needs to go. She had the unmitigated gall to lie the whole season and then the nerve to have people go on her Patreon and pay for it. Girl, bye. Now she deserves this. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you. Linda, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, what's good, Kempire? Just joined. Thank you so much. What's going on? And you didn't miss much because we haven't even gotten into this reunion trailer. Guys, if you're a member of the channel, I will be dropping the call-in link first for you guys. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. All right? All right, so let's get into the trailer that dropped. And for those that are wondering about the flowers, more information is available in the description. It's Valentine's Day. It's right around the corner. Be sure to check out the link in the description and use the discount code KEMPIRE, Kempire25 for $25 off of your order. And shout out to everyone watching on TikTok and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter. We see you guys. Again, thank you so much for the super chats and the Venmos and the Cash Apps and the PayPals and all those things. We appreciate you guys. Okay. Yes. Rosanna says the Mia and G's situation happened after season. Remember, she went on Twitter and Instagram, basically saying that exactly she wasn't cut off by G. That's why I was like, I think you're referring to the business. They are going to talk about the business. They are. And Jacqueline does come out. Let's talk about this reunion trailer. All right. So at the top of this reunion trailer, they want to give... I told you that this is probably a made-up storyline for next season. Gizelle dating that guy from Winter House, and a lot of you said that's not even the type of women that he dates or flavor that he dates. Okay. So I can already see that she's trying to set us up for some sort of Gizelle's dating next season. Gizelle, everything about you is so fake and phony and so pre-plotted and planned. I don't even care. Andy's like, oh, so Winter House has been good to you ladies, including Ashley Darby and that whole situation. That's already over. That's already over. So they start off the trailer like that, and I was already like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Speaking of Ashley, her prenup. I told you this. She kind of gave us a hint of this on Watch What Happens Live, that there are certain parts of the prenup that she did not read into, the fine print. So it looks like Ashley might not be getting everything. She's definitely not getting half, y'all. She's definitely not getting half. Michael Darby is no fool, okay? She's definitely not getting half, but is she not getting alimony? Is she not getting alimony? But I'm not going to feel sorry for Ashley. Ashley makes a good check off of Real Housewives of Potomac. I do wonder, though, was she saving that check? What was she doing with that check? It definitely not spending it on the fashions. You know what I mean? What was she doing with that check? Because she claims that she never paid a bill. She had nothing to do. Like, he covered all the costs of everything. But you had that Bravo check. What were you doing with that Bravo check? If you were giving it to him, so in this, look, this is a preview. I'm sure there's more context to the story in regards to her prenup, in regards to her not getting alimony. Everyone was confused. They were like, what? You're not getting anything? Karma for being a part of this Green-Eyed Bandit situation this season to try and take down someone else's husband. You get what you give. Look, am I supposed to feel sorry for Ashley Darby? In regards to her relationship, we already kind of knew what this relationship was. And then she's literally joined the Green-Eyed Bandits this season to take down someone that truly wanted to be her friend. And we were all like, why? So I'm sure we'll get more context in regards to the prenup and what's happening with that. Some people still do not believe that Ashley Darby and Michael Darby are getting a divorce. I believe that they are getting a divorce. We already knew that this was going to happen eventually. We were just shocked that she would have 2 babies in between. Because there have been all kinds of rumors before she even had the first baby. But she was cool with it then. Allegedly. I don't know if she was cool with that. It seemed like it, though. So there's another part that comes out. And I think this might be one of the better parts because Mia, according to Candiace on Watch What Happens Live, she says Mia is really dragged throughout this reunion. So Jacqueline, who has now, because even in the Variety interview, Candiace talks about her newfound friendship with Jacqueline, because at first she didn't see it for her, but then she felt bad for her after the falling out of this 20-plus year relationship and friendship with Mia. We see in this episode, this preview, that Jacqueline accuses Mia of not being the CEO of the company. And look, come on, tell us what we don't know. Tell us what we don't know. We already knew this. At least our community knew this when she brought us into the office on the show last season and was giving us a tour of cabinets, acting as if she's the CEO. When she's pretty much the eyes and ears for Gordon at this office. But Jacqueline, who holds the tea because she's known Mia for a very long time, in this preview says, you're not even the CEO, sitting around here pretending. She also said the family business is in shambles. As you know, Mia has gone on social media and talked about how Gordon and her have been pushed out of this business. And the rental that she bought in Potomac that she renovated. Sidebar, we never talked about how she renovated the floors of her rental. Why would you look? It's already we were questioning why you would put in like $75,000 into a rental, But to do the floors are expensive. Like you could pay like $60,000 for floors alone. For a rental? The floors, I hope the floors were terrible. That's why she did them. And now she's not even there anymore. Not even a year. And she's back in the penthouse. I'm not going to feel sorry for her. That penthouse is beautiful. But it's not in Potomac. I mean, only like one of them lives in Potomac, and that's Karen. Okay. I still don't understand why they don't go like Real Housewives of DMV. Anyways. So Jacqueline comes out. I'm wondering if Jacqueline's coming out in like the first part. And Jacqueline apparently brought her receipts. Do you guys think that Jacqueline's going to be coming back next season? I wasn't sure because, you know, Mia brought her on the show, but now she's developed this friendship with Candiace. Would you want her to come back as a full-time housewife? I don't think I want her as a full-time housewife. I wouldn't mind her as a friend of, but not as a full-time housewife. Because we need her as a friend of to keep Mia in check. So her whole thing is going to be coming out here addressing everything that we've seen throughout the season, including now the news of Mia and Gordon being pushed out of this business. But they're also going to be talking about Gordon possibly sleeping with Jacqueline. Is that what he says? There was never any penetration. Even Andy's like, all right. We will find out what Gordon was talking about in regards to the penetration. I don't want to even examine that right now because, again, this is an edited preview. He could be talking about something completely different when we see the full thing. And even then, we're not even seeing the full thing. Okay. Let me take a sip. Guys, how many people we have in the room? Hold on. Guys, we have almost 3,000 people here. Hey. This is our Real Housewives of Potomac catch-up because there have been quite a few different stories. There was a recent interview that came out today in regards to Candiace in Variety. We also had to talk about the fake, phony rumor of Robyn Dixon being fired at Watch What Happens Live. No, not true. Was their interview contentious? Probably. I believe that. Because you know how Andy can be a little, especially if you lie to him, he can be the devil. I'm just saying, there's a side of Andy, according to sources, that he's not so happy-go-lucky all the time. But you've seen it. So I can see this being a little contentious, this Watch What Happens Live. This might be the highest rated episode of Watch What Happens Live. So we don't believe that rumor. We also talked about Mia dropping her receipts earlier today that weren't receipting. Maybe the ID, but some of you said that's fake ID, but we don't know. We don't know. Look. Sidebar, guys, don't forget, Harlem on Prime dropped today. I'm going to watch it this weekend. We'll probably do like a separate recap of it, so stay tuned for that, but stay tuned. I'm also going to this weekend work on the podcast. I know it's been a while, y'all, but the visual version of the podcast, the latest episode, dropped on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to subscribe to that channel and subscribe to the Kempire Shorts channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers there, but we have almost 240,000 here. Come on, y'all. Come on. Go subscribe. Mods, can we just post links to make it easy for people in the chat? All right. So before I move on, I'm going to drop the call-in link for members first. So if you are a Senior Royal, shout out to our Senior Royals. I'm going to drop the call link for you first, and then I want to continue talking about this preview that we got of the Potomac reunion. And shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. I see you guys as well. We appreciate you being here for our recap of the news that came out this week in regards to Robyn Dixon being fired, in regards to this Candiace interview. That actually came out today, the Candiace interview. So I wanted to talk about that. And she's talking about how she doesn't know how she could even believe anything that comes out of Robyn's mouth anymore, and that she's questioning everything that Robyn has said to her. because she used to view Robyn and look up to Robyn. She said that this season. Let me tell you something about an Aries, though, because Robyn's an Aries. Aries are, look, I get along very well with Aries. I'm besties with Aries. But Aries, they got secrets. Look. We've talked about it, but I'm going to leave that there. Look, I'm going to leave that there. If you're a Royal Court member, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you as well. And Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping the call-in link for you in a second. But we have 3,000 people in the building. So I will drop the call-in link once we get to 1,100 likes. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels, your channel, those that are watching in the bushes. Keep watching. We appreciate it. now everybody's going in on Aries. Uh-oh. Let me leave it alone. What did I start? All right. Let me continue in regards to what went down on this reunion. So the reunion trailer dropped earlier today. All right. So we already talked about Jacqueline coming out and calling Mia out for her lies in regards to her being a big boss over at, what is it called again? Something chiropractic, joint chiropractic. And no word on whether or not she's back in the business. I guess we will get an update once she's back in the business. If she ever will get back in the business. Okay, now that you guys seen the reunion looked in movement, I mean, we saw a little bit of a video but them sitting. Did it change your mind about some of the reunion looks? Some of them? Maybe? No? Okay. All right. So speaking of Gizelle. So Andy brings up, and I'm sure this was a question from you guys that watched the show. He says, he lists all the relationships and husbands that Gizelle has attacked over the seasons and saying that she's using them as a storyline. And she's like, huh? Like she's surprised at that question. And then Candiace confronts her about the lies that she makes up for the show. And then she's like, how did I lie on Chris? How did I lie on Chris? All right. So Chris comes out and let me pull this picture up, y'all. I got to pull this picture up because Chris comes out. And let me tell you something. I watched the first time and I felt for him. I watched it a second time. I felt even a little bit more for him. I watched it a third time and I felt his pain to a level, y'all, that I have never, look, there's certain things that happen on these reality shows. Yes, it's entertainment. But when he got so angry, he came out there. He's like, what did I do to you? He said, what did I do to you? Because he wants her to really go through the timeline of what went down during last reunion. Chris says, what did I do to you? And first of all, before he even came out, he was talking to Eddie Acefo, and he was like, I have smoke for anyone that wants it. And then when he comes out, he says to Gizelle, what did I do? Then he says, I lost clients, money, and I had to answer to my family. So when he's like, you see the tears in his eyes, y'all. I felt for Chris Bassett in this moment because, we are, during the pandemic, we had the Me Too movement, even before that. And we were like, believe women. But Gizelle, you are the reason why women are not believed. Because there's always that one crab in a barrel that is lying. And do I think that Gizelle may have felt a little uncomfortable? Yeah. But to use that as fodder for a storyline this season as a distraction, according to reports and sources, is disgusting. And anyone that tries to justify and support Gizelle in this situation, regular Robyn, is just as bad. So Robyn, when you did that Page 6 interview talking about what Karen was alleging, even though she says there were other witnesses there, she felt uncomfortable because he physically touched her. Where the hell was Juan Dixon at this reunion? Where was Juan Dixon? These allegations come up and you don't show up to the reunion? You guys got married on the season finale and you don't show up to the reunion? People have been calling your relationship fake for forever and you don't show up to the reunion? Is Juan coming? Oh, that's what I thought. But we've been saying this in regards to the whole Gizelle situation. We've been saying this all season. Like, you know what? If she felt uncomfortable, very possible. We all saw that Chris was a little, tipsy at this reunion. And we can't control on how someone feels. But as Candiace said, and what a lot of people were saying, you waited until the cameras were rolling to express this uncomfortableness for a distraction. Now it's all coming together. Now we're like, oh, you brought this up. You threw this man under a bus to protect your best friend and then to carry the season with some sort of storyline. But you didn't realize that this type of storyline could ruin Chris's career. And he literally comes out there and he's so upset. And I know some of you will be like, he shouldn't be yelling at her like that. She doesn't have a husband behind her and da-da-da-da. And here's the one time I'm like, no, you accused me of making you feel uncomfortable. He's like, what did I do? So I don't do it again. He says he lost clients, he lost money, and then he had to answer to his family. And you could see that he had tears in his eyes. I felt for Chris in that moment. I was angry for him. Ray comes out. Ray Huger. Look, Ray comes out to lighten the mood. Sorry, y'all. So Ray comes out, and of course the Blue Eyes rumors are going to be addressed. And he does say at one point, Ray does say, let's not go there. Again, this is a preview. We don't know what he's referring to. Charisse comes out. I can't believe I rooted for this woman. I rooted for her before she was even on the show, y'all. I was like, bring her back. Look, let's see what's going on with her. Let's get a life update. My biggest regret. Look, my biggest regret.
Who said that? When did she say that? You did.
I did. Look, I did. Look, I did. I own it. Okay? So they're going to bring Charisse out, and Andy's like, you said a lot this season, and then she makes a face, and he's like, wait, there's more? Messy Andy. So one of the things, before I forget, that as I'm watching this preview, and again, it's a preview, I'm not sure if it does come up, but I would have thought, especially based off of everyone's reaction to colorism on this show, I'm actually surprised that at no point during this preview do we see a conversation about colorism come up. So I'm wondering if it comes up during this reunion at all. And if it doesn't, how does that make you guys feel? Because you remember, I said Andy Cohen cannot host or moderate a conversation on colorism. So it wouldn't be shocked if they avoid it altogether. At no point did we see to me, that's where they lost me in the preview. Colorism, the mean girl behavior, the violent behavior in Miami, none of that was brought up. But we do get that little back and forth between Wendy and Mia, talking about Peter, her showing Peter her cookie, Wendy. Karen does say that she has receipts and witnesses in regards to Juan. We all do. We all do at this point. And unfortunately, all of this Robyn news came out after the reunion. But will you guys even be interested come next season? Come this time next year, will you even care about Juan Dixon, Robyn Dixon, and their relationship and them lying or withholding the truth? I saw a question on Twitter, and I believe it's a lie. Do you believe if someone withholds information is a lie? Yeah, I do. I do. But that's me. Look, but that's me. All right, Nightbot, thank you for the reminder, guys. Don't forget, there are fake Kempires in the comment section on YouTube. I am never going to hit you up and tell you to call me at my private WhatsApp number. No one has my number. I have people still waiting for me to respond. I can't. So I'm not hitting you up telling that you want a prize. We announce all the prizes right here. Please do not respond. Please report. There's also a fake Kempire on Instagram. Doesn't even sound like me. I thought you guys knew me. A fake Kempire, TheKempire _. Don't follow him, unfollow him, and report him or them. Who knows? All right, let me say thank you, and then we're going to get into some callers. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. We will drop the call link once we get to 1,100 likes. We have over 3,300 and something people watching. I do not take that for granted, guys. Remember when we started? I don't remember how many people were in the building when we first started. But I appreciate you guys appreciating my take on things, I should say. Let me pull this down. Kia, thank you so much for another super chat. Kia says, I'm ready to see Chris go off on the... At first, seeing him yell, I was like, oh gosh, I know that people are going to use this against him. But I was like, I felt his passion in that moment. I felt for him in that moment. Candy, thank you so much for the super chat, Candy Cane. She says, I think Gordon was talking about Peter's girlfriend at his bachelor party. There was no penetration. Oh, Lord. Oh, I guess we will see. I mean, it's a preview, so we don't know. Aaron, thank you so much for the super chat. Aaron says, I heard Gizelle has an EP credit, but I don't think that's true. She doesn't. She should be held accountable as well for withholding information about Robyn, but she's so quick to blast everyone else's business. This is true too. This is very true. This is very, very true. Airy January, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Robyn and Gizelle are ruining the show. I hope the producers are taking note for next season. The Green Eyed Monsters gots to go. And like I said before, I feel as if there is a level of responsibility on production. There is definitely a level of responsibility. If you and I can see, you telling me they who are behind the scenes don't see it as clear as day what's going on with these people? They hold the responsibility too. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Omar, thank you so much for the super chat. Omar says, walking in Georgetown and got lost. What? You know who you should call, Omar? Look, you know who you should call? Kiana, thank you so much for the super chat. Kiana says, Gizelle feeling uncomfortable can be valid, yes. However, calling this man a sneaky link, I always forget that part. You guys always remind me. Calling this man a sneaky link let us all know her true intentions. Thank you, Kiana. Very true. Okay. Tony, thank you so much for the super chat. Another one. We appreciate you. Hold on. Let me just save this one. And let me just make sure I have everything, guys. Because you know I am managing it all. So let me just make sure I've gotten all the super chats. I think I have, except Rena. Thank you, Rena, for the super chat. Rena says, so basically Robyn finally married Juan for the show. And now she's fired. Divorce in the works. Will you guys be interested about a divorce storyline next season? No? All right. Look, all right. All right. I'm done talking. Shout out to our King's Guards, aka our moderators. We could not do this without them, so please show love to them. They're moderating over 3,000 people. Shout out to everyone that's modding on and watching on TikTok, and those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well that talk about reality TV, that talk about pop culture. Be sure to check out everything that you missed this week in regards to pop culture news. But we had a lot of Real Housewives news this week. We covered it all, okay? All right. Let's get to some callers. So I can stop talking, all right? Callers, are you guys ready? If you are a Team Kempire member, I'm dropping the call-in link for you as well. Let me switch this out so we can go to here, and let me put up our disclaimer as a reminder, okay? And let me put this back up. There we go. All right. All right, we're gonna start off with Brooklyn Star. What's going on, Brooklyn Star?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Happy Friday.
I'm good. Happy Friday to you. I just wanted to start off to say that my Haitian queens did it the best in Miami. I
Okay.
love their look. Oh my
Okay.
God, they killed it.
I
I
ha-
loved it.
I have to say I
Um,
probably loved Geardy's look more than Kiki's.
I did too, but they were literally like kind of like Lisa and Chanel, like one and two, like they both, like
Okay.
they were winners. I loved it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to also say that Andy and Bravo are not firing anybody during Black History Month. Okay, let's come back March the 1st. They will not be firing anybody.
But remember, Robyn is only how much percent black?
Remember the first season? Robin's like, both my parents are Black when Katie was insinuating she was more Caucasian. But I do think she deserves some form of punishment. If Andy could be petty enough to sideline Kenya pregnant, he can get Robyn together too. Miss a couple of episodes, a couple of mortgage payments. He could get her together. That she'll never do that again. Also, I think Chris needs to pull back from this show. This show is paying your wife, not yourself. This show has aged Chris by 30 years. He's looking like he's on the same level as Michael Darby. Okay, look at that. Look how much he has aged.
Let me pull it up.
This
Hold
show
on.
is not worth it if you're not getting a paycheck. He looks.
Stress.
He doesn't look. He looks stressed. I think he should fall back. And also, I just think like Charisse was never entertaining on the show. The most exciting thing happening to her at that moment was her getting that divorce. And we still thought it was boring because he refused to talk to her and refused to be filmed. So I just don't see why she's on there. And one last thing, I know I'm all over the place, but I think Marisol's dress looked like a crucifix, like she was gonna be nailed to the altar, like she just right dead on her chest. I just did not understand it. That's all. And Mia is a hard, pretty 39. Okay, she's pretty, but she a hard, pretty. But that's all.
Thanks, Brooklyn Star. So, guys, if you missed it, we were talking about the Real Housewives of Miami reunion looks during our earlier recap. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. TikTok, you weren't able to hear for some reason. I don't know. For some reason, it stopped working. So I have turned on the other speaker so you can hear it. Hopefully, that won't provide any feedback to everyone watching on YouTube. YouTube folks, let me know. Mods, let me know if you can hear me clearly without an echo. All right. All right, Amy's backstage. We're gonna bring Amy up next. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I have to use the words of Neely Leaks. Robyn needs to be disciplined. She needs to be disciplined for what she did. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I don't think she should be fired, but maybe demoted to friend of, because that was a serious thing that should have been discussed. And here's the thing. I don't blame her because I feel like her relationship with Juan is on like strings at this point. Because he never wants to be on camera. He never wants to talk to her. It's like he comes through and leaves. I'm just saying seriously. So I feel like he has made it where she cannot really address anything. Because he like is threatening Sleeve. In my opinion, doesn't that look like that? He never is on camera. And this started like 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
So is he going to come on camera to admit that he cheated on her walking through a hotel? He's not going to do that. But my thing is with her, you going to let this man make you lose your good job? Why would you lie for him? Why would you help him in his lie? He don't care about you keeping the lights on. Do y'all want to be washing up in cold water again, Robyn? Are we doing that? No. I would tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And let the cards fall where they lay. It's nothing you can get another one. And I mean that you can get another roommate. You don't need to deal with somebody who's not going to treat you with respect. Do you all remember when she was saying that she had depression and Juan came in there and called her all types of lazy, all types of trifling?
That last season.
That's the season that he was cheating. And then remember Gizelle came in and said, you can't let this fine man see you like this. I don't know how she didn't snap then. I would have been like, this man has his team all through Georgetown and different hotels. How dare you, as a friend? So for me, I feel like Robyn needs to be disciplined. Tell it all or go home.
Okay.
End the discussion.
All right, Amy, you had a lot to say. Okay.
I did. Have a nice one.
You too. Bye. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, thank you to everyone that sends in super chats. Shout out to people that just became members of the channel. I have dropped the call-in link for members only on the community tab on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to us there. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Let's get into some more calls because we have a long line backstage and I see a lot of familiar faces. Wow. All right. Sharon, I'll bring you up first. What's going on, Sharon?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Uh-oh, you froze.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sharon, I think there might be an issue on your end. Drop out and call back in. Because I didn't freeze for everyone else, right? Let me see. In my opinion, I'm going to bring up next. In my opinion, are you there?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing today, baby?
I'm well. How are you?
You know I'm blessed by the best. Let me tell you something, Kempire. I told you yesterday, Juan wasn't there. Robyn said in the interview that he wasn't there because he was with his players. Now, let me tell you something. First of all, Juan Dixon, let me tell you something. No, wait, I'm going to go back, okay? Bob the Builder and Gizelle both need to be consequences, okay? I think Robyn need to be fired. Bob the Builder can go. She ain't building no marriage. She ain't building no lives. And she ain't building no wealth, okay? She can go. I don't need to see her no more. Bye-bye, Bob the Builder. Gizelle needs a demotion. She could be a friend of. Since she like Ashley so much, she could be a friend of, okay? I don't see her giving nothing either. I was so here for Andy finally telling her, everybody else give, and you give nothing. And I do mean nothing. We ain't seen a scrap of her life since she been on this show. She showed us a piece of Jamal, and she showed us those girls every once in a while. That's the only thing we know about Gizelle. What else she do? She sit on this show for 7 years, and that's all we know. I don't know what she do in her meantime and in between time. I don't know what she do in her spare time, what she like to do. I don't know nothing about her. So why she on the show? That ain't reality. In reality, we see your ups, your downs, your struggles, everything. I don't see nothing from her. Not a thing. And that rebuilding of that house, it wasn't good enough, okay? Whoever built it, she need to get her money back, okay? She need to ask for a refund. I'm like Karen. Only thing I saw in there was that chandelier, and it was looking kind of sketchy to me. Let me tell you something. She could have went to Crate and Barrel and did a house better than that. I'm so not here for, and let me tell you something. I'm so here for Chris. You know, normally I'd be like, men shouldn't talk to women that way. Yeah. But Gizelle had it coming. Because here's the thing. At the same time, yeah, she has a right to her opinion. But she made her opinion mean something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he made you feel uncomfortable, and if Candiace is your friend, why wait 4 months before you say anything to anybody? You could have called Candiace on the phone after the reunion. You could have pulled her to the side and say, hey, look, you know, your husband made me feel uncomfortable. That could have been an easy conversation that could have had it, you know, expelled in no time. Yeah. But instead, you came on here, and then you didn't come to Candiace first. You spread it around the whole group first, and you put some salt on it. You tried to make it hurt. You wanted it to hurt. But this is the thing. This is what they do every year. That's the same thing they did to Monique. Yeah. And I'm not saying that I condone fighting, but that was the reason why I was for Monique standing up for her family, because she was one of them ones that just, she had got to a boiling point, and she was like, I'm over it. Like, y'all not only attacking me now, you're attacking my family. My family ain't got nothing to do with it. If you don't like me, then attack me. I can read you down. Same thing with Candiace. She can read you down. If you don't like her, attack her. But it's what we don't like is when you come on here and you attack a whole family and the family ain't did nothing to you. Yeah. Now, this man done lost his money. He done lost some connections. You don't know what you're doing. I hope he sue her. Let me tell you. Because all he got to do is have the receipts to show that he lost his clientele, and he can sue her for defamation of character. She better know her laws.
I just don't think it's worth it. The time and the energy and the money.
Here's the thing. I don't know if he has to sign the same contract that Candiace signed. You know, I know they signed a contract too because they have to be on the show. And I know they signed a contract that said they're not going to sue each other because they have to go through arbitration.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping he ain't tied up in that, and that's the reason why he couldn't, sue her. But I'm telling you, it's really hard to see somebody that actually didn't do anything wrong. And here it is. You tried to deflect from Karen how she felt when somebody physically touched her. Okay? You didn't get touched. They was asking you, well, did he touch you? No.
Did he leave when you told him to leave? Yes, he did.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand. This is my thing. It's not my niche to find out what made her feel uncomfortable. But when this man is asking you, what did he do to make you feel uncomfortable? I hope for the love of everything that Bravo loves, let her answer that question. I don't want to hear no, I ain't going to talk about it. I don't want to hear no, well, this is what, I want to hear what did he do? Answer to that man. Tell him what he did to you. Because I felt his pain myself. And here's my thing. You can't do this. And we shouldn't stand for this.
Yeah.
And here it is, Robyn, you sat up here, you set your wide body butt up here trying to hide your rumors.
In my opinion, let's avoid talking about people and their bodies, please.
Okay.
but I also have to let you go because we have a long line.
Have a good day, Kempire.
You too. Take care. All right. And let that be a reminder to everyone else. Can we stop talking about people's necks and hands and bodies? Let's not, please. All right. That kitchen table talk you can have at home, okay? Just not here on my platform. Thank you. All right, Judgy Justice is backstage. We're gonna bring her up next. What's going on, Judgy Justice?
Hey, Kempire, I'm doing the best thing that tourists do: cook some food.
Okay, what are you making? What are you making?
I'm making stir-fried rice with pork sausage from the Amish market that is like saged. It's really good. Oh. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
But anywho, I do think that Robyn should be demoted. I previously thought, she should be fired. But I think that, I don't want her and her family to be homeless. Yeah. So I'm showing compassion and restraint. I do think that Bravo needs to set a precedence that you cannot, because the thing is that people keep comparing her to Kenya's situation, yeah. But Kenya didn't force people to pay for something to see. She wasn't, people or US took pictures of it, but she didn't actually say, you, the viewer who has just paid your cable bill or Peacock bill to watch me on Sunday, now I'm going to tell you what's really real. And I've been paying this cable bill for like the last 4 months of watching y'all. And you telling me all I watched was lies from the jump. From when y'all started, for the last year, I've been lied to. I feel betrayed, honestly, as a viewer. Because, I don't expect y'all to go into everything. But that was something pivotal. That's not something we did not know. You said that Juan, and you guys have issues. You said that he cheated on you. You said that y'all had money issues. And then for you to take this platform that's building you up and we're rooting for you to then, smack me in my face and not even buy me dinner. I'm just like, I feel terrible. So I think that they should, demote her or take her off for a season, cut her paycheck, because there needs to be financial reparations. I'm asking for reparations.
Oh, not reparations. Okay. All right, Judgy Justice.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. She wants her reparations, y'all. Do you want reparations from what's her name? Robyn? Damn, I forgot her name already. All right, let me get to these callers because it is dinner time. Judgy Justice brought up food. Now I'm hungry. Let me bring up Sharon again. Hold on. What's going on, Sharon?
I'm doing fine. I had to change phones.
No problem. Okay, how many phones you got, Sharon?
3.
Oh, okay. All right, thoughts. Quick thoughts. Come on.
I was roaming the internet streets last night. I was up till wee early in the morning. And I'm trying to get some information for you, Kempire. I'm trying to get a hold of Robyn.
Wait, are you asking me to get a hold of Robyn to get you the information?
No, I'm trying to get a hold of Robyn for you.
No. Why?
You don't have to do anything. I'm asking her the questions so I can give them back to you.
Oh, okay. That's better. Okay.
I'm being nosy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Because I heard that she was fired, but that kind of sounded strange.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth on what really happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't say anything negative, because you never know who could be watching. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, when are you gonna watch Harlem?
Hopefully this weekend. Harlem on Prime.
Okay, I'm gonna watch tonight.
Okay. Take care, Sharon.
Okay.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, let me get through these calls. Miss Esquire's backstage. We're going to bring her up next, guys. If you're just joining us, we were talking about some Real Housewives of Potomac news, including the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion preview dropping. So we want to hear your thoughts as well, replay crew. Let us know where you're watching from, your thoughts on the Mia receipt situation, Candiace's interview with Variety, and the fake and phony rumors that Robyn Dixon was fired at Watch What Happens Live. That didn't happen. All right, Miss Esquire, we're going to bring up next. What's going on, Miss Esquire?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, honey, are you well? Because the calls today have been very interesting. I'm praying for you, your strength.
Thank you.
So let's start first things first. Our Papa. So with Robyn, here's the thing. I think that Robyn is really getting on my nerves because she's actually making me feel sorry for Juan, which is a storyline that I did not intend to have. But this woman, I know people say she was in PR, and I know I'm supposed to believe that she's an idiot savant, but I'm sorry, the first part of that I'm believing and not the second, because the first rule of PR is you don't let nobody spray you with your own tea. You get negative news out there, you put your own narrative on it, you spin it, you get it out there, and then you're not playing, as much defense. It makes no sense on God's green earth why you would know that women are being told by your husband's mistress or your fiance's mistress, roommate, whomever, that she's sharing this information with several of your castmates and you're waiting for them to drop the tea. Like, that explanation on her podcast just makes no sense. And I'm tired of Robyn insulting my intelligence. She can do that with one. Please don't do that with us. And my whole thing with and I already told you how I feel about the legal risk that she poses to him in terms of the ways that she's speaking about him. But also, I'm like, you have to know the legal risk that you're bringing towards yourself. With Bravo, they are not going to let you monetize your reality in a way that demonetizes what they are doing with you. It's the simple fact. It would be fine if she said, hey, y'all saw on the show that somebody brought up my mistress. We got into it. I'm going to tell you more and give you more context. I think that would have been fine with Bravo. But for you to completely monetize this information to the detriment of the brand, it's just going to have consequences. Like, there's no one way about that. Going with Gizelle, I am just tired of Gizelle. I don't even know what Gizelle's closet looks like. That's how little we know about Gizelle. Tell me the last time we saw Gizelle's closet. I'll wait. And I understand that her friendship with Robyn is built on on mutual misery. And that is the reason why she wants Robyn to stay with Juan. Honestly, because Robyn not being with Juan might represent the only opportunity that Robyn has to actually be happy. And Gizelle can't have that. She cannot have that. It was disgusting to watch her, to listen to her cackle on that podcast about this woman, knowing that her husband had an affair, and her saying, yeah, the girl reached out to me. She just wants some clout. There was no friendship present in that conversation at all. And it was like, Robyn, do you not see that this woman enjoys your misery? And that if you remove your misery, your unhappiness from this relationship, this friendship with her, you will have no friendship with her. And therefore you will cease to have utility to her.
Ooh.
I don't understand it. Last thing I'm going to say is this. Y'all gonna stop me having to defend this white man during Black History Month. It's the third day of Black History Month. And I feel bad for Chris Bassett just like everybody else.
Well, part of him is brown.
Excuse me?
Part of him is brown.
I'm sorry. What part?
Never mind. We'll move on. Go ahead.
Because look, the man is out here aging like milk does, much like cottage cheese. So I don't see the brown, but maybe that's just me. But I just am like, listen, Chris has a point, but it ain't my purpose to make it during Black History Month. Not during Black History Month. Not like how Simone Sanders said, we're not gonna do this during this time. Last, I have a bone to pick with you, and I'm gonna shut up. because you. Now I be on these internet streets under my my fake name, but I done told people to watch your show, and all of a sudden people are calling me talking about why do I hear your voice on Kempire's new video? And I'm like, what do you mean? Kempire, if you get me found out on these internet streets and I ain't got nowhere to work, I hope you got a place for a co-host. Because I got bills to pay and I got babies to take care of.
But wait a second. You called into my show.
I did. But this is supposed to be between me and you and not your thousands of listeners.
Look, and the 3,200 or something people, and then we got 300 on here.
All these? You got too many listeners, too many places, honey. It's upsetting me and my homegirl.
Oh.
But we love you. Have a great day.
Wait. I have a quick question in regards to the Coppin State lawsuit. I heard a rumor that Juan was removed from it. Do you know anything about that?
I have not heard that he was removed in his.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I haven't seen the court documents.
Next time we talk, I'll look that up for the Tuesday recap, and I'll have that information for you.
Thank you, Miss Esquire. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Not y'all blaming me. I hate when y'all call up here and try and come for me. No, she wasn't come for me. She's kidding. Look. All right, we have a long line of people. Let me get through these calls, guys, so I can go meditate and then eat something because it's Friday and I'm hungry. All right. Danielle's backstage. We're going to bring her up. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey there.
Hey.
Okay, so Miss Esquire said some things that I already noted on, so I guess I'm going to just piggyback on what she said. Oh, and I'm mad that the brown joke went over her head. Miss Esquire, come on, pay attention. That brown joke went totally over your head. She missed that. I'm so disappointed that she missed that because I'm over here cracking up. Anywho, to Esquire's point, if Robyn was really waiting for her castmates to drop the T, air quotations, then why didn't she do it herself? Like, you could have wrote your own story and all of this could have been alleviated. Okay, so let's face some facts. I've missed part of the show because work sucks. But you meant one part that I did catch. You were like, allegedly Carlos said that he knew about the meeting. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's what I think you're forgetting. Remember last season or the season before last when Candiace admitted to them having a meeting prior to the season starting about Monique's baby?
Yes, we talked about that.
That's what he was talking about. That's what Carlos was like, well, we already know you guys have meetings prior to the season start. So that's what he was saying. Like, are y'all doing this every season? So that's
I saw what he said. That it wasn't reference to that.
No, it wasn't referencing that specifically. Meaning, y'all do this every year. We know y'all do this because you talked about it before.
No. He literally said. When I covered this story, I literally posted exactly what he said. He said he heard allegedly that they had met before prior coming up with the storyline.
Oh, see, when I watched it, I took it though he was talking about they do this all the time because we know y'all admitted to it from that season.
No,
so y'all
go back and watch it. Look, go back and watch.
I don't want to unless it's got the little stamps on it. I'm not going back and watch that.
The little stamps. Yeah.
And to everyone's point, okay, so wait. I just did some Google schmoogling while I was waiting in line. So season 6 aired July 11th through December the 5th of 2021, right? Robyn claims that Juan and the girl, and based on George's receipts of the screenshots, Juan was still reaching out to the chick sometime during 2021 and she never responded. Then season 5 was aired, and I'm saying aired because remember it had to be recorded prior to it being aired. So season 5 aired August 2nd through December 20th, 2020. Remember, the original receipts as well as the hotel receipts were from 2020. So if it
it's from 2021.
One of them screenshots was from 2020, though. I think it might have been like a text message. Something said 2020.
Like
I do remember that. So she's known about this even before. Well, she might have known, but their communication started before even season 5 aired. So while they were filming, he was reaching out or having communications with this girl, and you had way too many opportunities to bring this up, and you didn't. Now, I don't think she should be fired, but I think let's give Candiace, Wendy, and maybe even Karen the respect to come with these dates and receipts, and Robyn has to answer to them on show and speak up and give us some facts and not the BS.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Gizelle, you only gave us 3 seasons of you and your men. And like Monique says, you had a new man every season and never show up to the reunion. And that was season 3, I think, what Sherman left and never came back, maybe season 4. And now what you got? We on to season 8 and we ain't got nothing, Gizelle. You got to come with something else and stop digging in everyone's mess. So now I got to go be part of replay crew. Go eat and meditate. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Callers, Miss Bernice is going to be the last person we take. So we have Alex, we have Mocha, we have Tati, we have Kristen, and we have Omar, and then we have Miss Bernice. No one else is allowed to call back in because I'm cutting it from there. So let everybody know. Pass it on. Pass it on. All right. We have over 3,300 people watching on YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe and follow if you haven't already. And we have over 200 and something people watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys being here as well. Be sure to thank you for the follows. Thank you for the gifts. We appreciate you guys supporting us on multiple platforms. Let's get to Alex, and then we're going to move on really quickly. Alex, what is your short and shady comment?
Child, I agree with the lady before. I don't remember. I'm bad at names, but I agree. I had to change my name. People are out for me. I told you on TikTok, people be out for me. Anyway, I want to talk about Robyn. So I feel like it's more the anger is towards how she is going to make people pay for the truth when her whole job is to tell the truth on this reality show and to put your reality out there. And it doesn't make any sense. Get off of a reality show if you're not going to show your reality, period. And then Gizelle, we don't get enough of her family. I like her when she's with her girls.
Me too.
I like her when she's with her family. I like her when she's with her family, but I also don't want her gone. I know a lot of people want her gone. I don't. She's like Alexia to me. She's the staple for right now, at least.
Okay.
She's like one of the big ones in the show. I don't think it could afford having her leave. I think it could afford having Robyn leave for sure, 1,000,000%. I think she should because of what she did. Because she's not showing her reality, and her story's done. She's married. Her story's done. That was her whole story. Was her divorce, her losing the money, and then going broke, and then her building herself back up again with her family, and that whole story. And now it's done. She's married. They have their money together, I hope, and it's all done there. And Gizelle, I'm gonna keep it short and shady, but Gizelle needs to stay.
Okay. All right, Alex, thank you for calling in. And don't blame me for people recognizing you. you know how I drop them, then I say what I want to say. All right, because you know what we like to do here. We like to talk behind people's backs. Just saying. Sidebar, for those that weren't here for our Real Housewives of Miami recap, I mentioned to you that Traitors was renewed for a second season, and we're going to get a reunion hosted by Andy Cohen. I don't get it. I'm not going to go on a rant about it, but maybe they couldn't afford Alan Cumming. I don't know. But we are going to get the Traitors reunion the end of this month. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to the host. It is what it is. Thank you guys for the gifts on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. Mocha, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Mocha?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
Yeah, I've been better.
Oh.
And hello, everybody in chat. So I think a lot of it is like, one, a lot of the stars in these realities, like, they treat everybody that's watching like we're dumb. Like, that's where all the lying and that comes into. It's like, for a lot of people, we can pick who you are before you show us who you are. And when you're not showing your authentic self, then you don't want to watch, because isn't that part of the joy of watching reality TV for some people, is that you might have had a crap day and you can relate to what somebody else is going through. And it's changed so much since you think back to the Osbournes and Paris and Nikki, even though some of that was staged with Paris and Nikki, but it was funny. And the Osbournes, that's how they really are. And that's why people loved them, and that's why people loved the show. And I think with Housewives, it's changed so much, and it's become more about drama than what they actually do with their lives, which is why we watch, because a lot of us don't get to live these lives. Some of us may never get to live this life of having so much money that we don't know what to do with it. or been able to even just go on a different holiday. Like, that's one of my favorite parts is like when people travel. Like, even with you, when you travel and we get to see the updates, it's like, oh, wow, like maybe one day I'll get to go there. And it's like, that's what you want to see. So, like, when they treat viewers like we're idiots and then they get upset that we're like, well, we don't want to watch this anymore. We rather not watch you anymore. It's really frustrating because, like, even just making up lies like about Chris, like, what about his poor children? Like, did Gizelle think about that? Because, like, all these women always say, don't come for my family, don't come for my children. I don't want my children to know these things. But shouldn't that be the same respect you give to another human being about their kids? Because Chris's kids are old enough to know.
Definitely.
There's people in these that go to the schools with them that might see these things and say something. And, like, yeah, this is someone's livelihood. Like, besides the show, he doesn't get paid for that as far as we know.
Yeah, the husbands don't get paid. I think the only husbands that actually get paid are Jersey.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's really, in a way, to me, like, selfish that because your life's so boring and you have nothing to offer to the show, that you rather tear down other people. And if these are real friends outside the show, like everyone said, if this was a problem, why didn't you take it to Candiace straight away? Yeah. And that says a lot about respecting Candiace as a person and a friend also. And I think Candiace's biggest problem is I don't think she's ever had a real genuine friend because, like, she thinks these women are her friends.
Yeah.
And the only one who has seemed to stand by her so far is Dr. Wendy.
Yeah.
So I think Candiace needs to, like, she's done so much amazing work on herself, as we've seen, but I think she needs to look a bit deeper as well and figure out, like, what type of people she wants around. Because if people like that are going to lie about your husband, what else are they going to lie about? So thank you, Kempire. Miss catching up with all of you.
You
and,
too. What time
like,
is it? What time
congratulations.
Is it over there? What time is it?
It's 7:30 in the morning.
Wow. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I was actually up early.
Okay.
So was able to catch up. But yeah, and congratulations on your immense growth. Like,
thank you.
You're just amazing at what you do. And
thank you.
Like, as a viewer, and I know everybody else, like, we love what you do. And you just bring a light to so many of us who are going through our own daily problems. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mocha. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your
day.
Bye. Happy Saturday over there.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. All right, if I can find my mouse. There we go. There we go. All right. Guys, I'm going to get to some more callers. Okay, Tati, I'm going to bring you up for a short and shady comment. What's going on, Tati?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing good. No, long time no speak.
I know.
All right, so I'm going to make this quick, but I need you to get these Bravo producers. You know them. You know who they are.
Don't act like we're friends.
If they're listening in the here, I need you to hear this. Season 8, episode 1. I want Robyn and Gizelle in the firing squad. I want them to have to tell everything and be honest. I want every single question answered. For them to have no choice but to tuck their tail between their legs and suck it up and say what they have to say. And then I don't want to see the two of them for the rest of the season. That should be their punishment for this lie.
Damn.
That is it. I am sorry. We have seen season after season, those two come up with BS, attack families. Meanwhile, lying, not showing anything about their lives. And what little bit they show is false. Okay. So their punishment should be you only get one episode. Oh. And that is it.
Okay.
And that's my comment.
Thank you, Tati. We appreciate you. Long time no speak. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye. All right, we're going to get to some more callers, but I did want to say thank you to the Super Chats, guys. We have over 3,000 people watching on multiple platforms. Be sure to like the video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And more information on our Cameo, our podcast, and how you can get your own Forever Roses, head on over to the description of this video, or be sure to check out our website, TheKempire.com, for more details on everything Kempire. Let me say, Osen, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. Oop. Go. Let me take this down so you can see. Okay. Olsen says, producers needed to step in and stop the lies like they did on Pursuit of Portia. You remember that scene? The lies, the Pursuit of Portia. The lies, Portia family, some lies. Yeah. Agreed. And that's the same company that produced Portia's Family of Lies. Megan, thank you so much for the super chat. Megan says, I want Robyn and Jizzy to be put on blast next season. They lied about other people's relationships. It's time for them to be put in the hot seat and slowly spit roasted by producers. Oh my goodness. Carl, thank you so much for the super chat. Carl says, I used to be a Robyn fan, but she showed us complete disregard by making us pay to get her true story. She doesn't deserve this platform. I've seen that comment quite a few times. Thank you, Carl. I've seen that quite a few times from people. I think that's why people do not want her to return. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Brian says, I love you, Kempire. Part of him is... Thanks, Brian. Still giggling. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says, the reason why Juan wasn't at the reunion basketball season is still going on. Okay, Sharon, here she go with the sports. Okay. But we appreciate you. Keep us in the loop. But my thing is, it would be beneficial for Juan Dixon and Coppin State for him to be there and apologize for making Karen Huger uncomfortable. And then also be there to address the whole wedding that happens on season 7 finale. All right. Let me get to some more callers. Kristen, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Kristen?
Hey, Kim.
Hey.
I think the question that Andy asked Gizelle, you think that was a viewer question or production wrote that question?
You never know. Look, you
for
never
real,
know.
they try to get it because it's like enough is enough with on the lies. And you see when Chris, she don't have no remorse.
No.
None at all. Oh my God. Did you see Ashley face when Chris going and Gizelle Ashley look at Gizelle like, huh? Like what? You could tell that, I mean, something is not right.
Yeah, but Ashley was a part of it too.
That's why she was looking at Gizelle like, damn, we got busted. And when Karen said to Robyn,
Kristen? Did we look? Kristen, where'd you go? Oh, Kristen, I don't know what happened. You were about to go in too. All right. Let me bring up Miss Bernice, and then we're gonna have Omar come after her. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. This broke down Dynasty people. I understand that. Let me how I'm gonna put this. That Gizelle thinks she's Alexis, and that she's running everything, and you get Robyn being a broke down Sammy Joe, so served no purpose. She just had kids. She didn't do anything. She didn't give anything. Grand Dame was definitely Dominique Devereaux. But for you to go on, yes. But for Robyn to go on and think I'm finna pay $5 to hear your version of the lie that you perpetuated for the whole season, no, thank you. I was disappointed. The fans are disappointed because you played us for suckers. You like we was Boo Boo the Fool. On next season, I'll be watching. Not like a regular fan. I can't deal with them. I hope they are put to the fire for what they did, because what they did was wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't genuine or nothing. You targeted this man. You could have cost him his livelihood. It's still, no matter what you say, people still going to believe you. And it may cost him his jobs in the future. You never know.
Yeah.
Because when people search Chris, that's going to come up.
And they might not get the context of the show. They're just going to see a headline.
Exactly.
Damn, Miss Bernice.
Mm. Be careful what you do. Once it's on the internet, it's there forever. It don't get erased. The good and the bad.
You're right. Damn. All right, Miss Bernice.
Yeah.
Thanks for breaking that down.
Okay, no problem. It's my job. I'm the elder. I got to do that.
As always. Thanks, Miss Bernice. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
But she's right. Damn. That's true. You just do, even if Gizelle was like, yeah, we made peace. Now that's forever there. You know, these jobs do look at social media for hiring and things like that. I mean, I hope it doesn't affect him in that way. But these are things that you're not thinking about. All right. Last caller, and then I'm wrapping this up. Look, last caller, and I'm wrapping this up. Omar, I'm going to bring him up. What's going up, Omar?
Kempire, how are you?
Happy
Happy Friday.
How you doing?
Good. You just caught me. You caught me eating pistachios.
Okay, healthy.
Listen, I ordered my flowers, so I'm just or my roses.
All right. For yourself or a boo for your Valentine?
For myself, I'm gonna see how they look and see if I should order them for for everybody else.
Oh, okay. All right.
But listen, just two quick things. Ashley is kind of giving me a little bit Sheree Whitfield from Atlanta, because Sheree's problem was that she couldn't carry everybody's bone. She would never really carry Kim's bone to Nene and the rest of the girls. And so Ashley is kind of giving me the same vibe. She's quick to call everybody else out, carry everybody else's bone. But how come she didn't call Robyn's bone, and present it in front of everybody else? And the last thing, I am so confused. How did Cha-Cha get second seat next to Gizelle at the reunion?
Well, I think they just brought, they just brought her out for the friend of section. She's not there permanently.
Even then, most friends usually are in the back or towards the end, last seat.
I don't know. Maybe because she's an OG.
I guess. That's it, though. Thank you.
Thanks, Omar. Have a good weekend. I did notice that. I was like, wait, what is happening right now? Why is she there? All right. Guys, we're going to wrap this up. First of all, thank you to the callers for calling in. We appreciate your callers and being respectful and not using profanity and all the things. We appreciate our callers. Thank you. And we appreciate your perspective. Let me switch this out so I can go back here. There we go. And take this off. Okay. And thank you to all of you that sent in super chats. I saw we had another super chat. If I missed your super chat, I apologize. It's not intentional. As you know, I'm hosting a show and producing a show and engineering a show. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, integrity is something I now understand that Robyn, Gizelle, and Ashley lack tremendously. I honestly feel sorry for all the kids of these women. Damn. I mean, I don't think any lies were told, though, y'all. Thank you, Nicole, for the super chat. We appreciate you. All right. Final thoughts. Mia's still a liar. Yeah. Robyn is not fired. Not yet. There's a new interview with Candiace in Variety, and she's talking about now she doesn't know what was the truth and what was the lie in her friendship with Robyn after all of this information. And she originally was happy at the reunion for Robyn and Juan getting married. Now she's just like, she doesn't know what's the truth. And this RHOP reunion preview, I'm wondering if they are going to cover colorism at all, because it was not in the preview. But the preview was enough for me to be interested. I'm ready for the season to come to an end, to be honest with you. I am. And I'm interested to see what the season will look like for season 8. Let me just give you a heads up. There will be multiple rumors that will be coming out that Robyn's fired. Gizelle's been fired. Oh, they're going to add this particular person to the cast. This one is gone. You know the spiel. And we will cover things that we can somewhat corroborate. So stay tuned for season 8 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Replay crew, let us know where you're watching from. Be sure to check out everything in the description in regards to getting a cameo for Valentine's Day. You want me to say hey, boo, happy Valentine's Day for you? I'm on Cameo. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio, as well, because I am going to do a special podcast this weekend talking all about RHOP, the Juan Dixon situation, and the Robyn Dixon situation. We have to do just one episode talking about that. Kempire Radio on all your major podcast platforms. Subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel so you can see the visual version, and the Kempire Shorts channel as well. Thank you to our mods, our King's Guards. We could not do this without them. We appreciate you guys. Thank you again for the Super Chats, the PayPals, the Cash Apps, the Venmos, all of that. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel so we're able to continue to grow and elevate and do all the things that you've come to love here on our multiple platforms. So thank you to all of you that support us in any way that you can by watching, sharing, liking, Super Chats, becoming members. Shout out to our members. We appreciate you guys. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. Let's continue this conversation about this RHOP situation in the comment section. Thank you all for being here. Let's get out of here with some music. You know what? Because we know that Robyn's not living her best life, how about we live our best life? It is Friday. Let's get out of here, y'all.
Je bogo to my best life, yeah. Je bogo to my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Bogo to my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I just want to know. Something you and me, oh. Bogo to my best life, yeah. What's on my best life, yeah. You broke what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You broke what's on my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I just want to know. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life, yeah. What's on my best life, yeah. You both what's on my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both what's on my best life.